world's ancient great empires come some beautiful and exotic flavours. Add some fire and spice and you have the wonderfully seductive world of Persian food. Join our food safari to learn how to create the rice dish of celebration. The secrets of an expert kebab maker, a classic dish of the Sultan's gourmet sabzi, and a seductive rosewater dessert.
Persian food is not only Iran, it's wider than that geographically. It would go to Afghanistan, part of Central Asia and surrounding countries of Iran. It is a very balanced food. It is time-consuming, it's labor-intensive, but at the end, it's yummy, it's delicious.
Rasul Sajadi was born into a food-loving family in the Shiraz province in southwest Iran, a farming area with abundant fruit and vegetables. After fleeing his homeland, Rasul and his family settled in Australia and opened an emporium full of everything from 10 sorts of rice to musical instruments and backgammon boards. Tell me how essential rice is in Persian cuisine.
Iranians are usually very fussy about the way they prepare their rice. It has to be next to perfect. Because this is the main dish, basically. This is the longest grain and the most aromatic rice that we can find here in Australia.
It says aged.
Yes, it has to be aged. If the rice is not aged, it would be sticky, wouldn't be as fluffy, and at the same time wouldn't have the same aroma and the same flavor.
Same magic.
So it has to be aged. 2 years to 3 years is best. We use saffron a lot, and we believe that Persian saffron is the best. It's stronger in flavor and it's stronger in color.
So saffron's the main spice, but there are other things that
Apart from saffron, the next spice, real spice, would be turmeric. We add it to almost every stew.
For colour and flavour.
For colour and flavour. Herbs are used a lot in Persian cuisine.
And are you using fresh or dried?
Fresh if we can, but some people dry them and use them in the winter. In gourmet sabzi, for instance, there's 3 different herbs used. Parsley, leeks, and a smaller portion of fenugreek. This is dried lime. It's used for its flavor and for its soury taste. It's used a lot in gourmet sabzi.
So would you say the Persian taste buds love a little bit of tang?
Indeed, indeed. Traditionally, ghee is used a lot in Persian cuisine. We warm it up and garnish basically our rice. Not only it gives a non-sticky kind of texture to the rice, at the same time it gives it a nice, very nice flavor.
Brussels tea is something that you adore, isn't it?
Usually we have tea after every meal. It's treated with a lot of respect when we have tea.
And you drink it black?
We drink it black.
But you love your sugar, don't you?
Most people would probably put the sugar cube in their mouth and they sip their tea together with the sugar cube in the mouth, and it gradually melts as you drink your tea.
Rasul, dried fruit plays a huge part in the cuisine, doesn't it?
For cooking, I guess this would be the most popular one. Poloui, which goes with polo. They call it poloui keshmesh.
Through the beautiful rice?
Beautiful rice.
So that's quite sweet?
It's sweet and sour.
These are one of my favourite things, and they're grown in Iran, are they?
They're grown in Iran, they're grown in Shiraz, that's why we call them Shirazi anjir.
And they're little figs.
And they're little figs, yeah. They're not as big as ordinary figs, but they're sweeter. Some people soak them overnight in water or milk and have them as a snack or as a cereal in the morning.
Yum.
Kashk is a sub-product of yogurt, and it's used mainly with the kashk bademjun, which is a popular dish.
And so what's the flavour of this?
It's got a strong yogurt or butter flavour. Barberry is a wild berry, and they are wildly grown in the skirt of the mountains, in the northwest of Iran, and they are used mainly in zeresht polo.
And because they're sour, do you need to do something to them to mellow their flavour?
In cooking, some add a little bit of sugar to that as they cook it, but I wouldn't use sugar.
No?
I wouldn't.
To many of us, kebabs are all roughly the same. To a Persian, there are 1,000 fine distinctions. The quality and cut of the meat, the marinades and the spicing. But they're all cooked on the sword-like skewers called a shish.
We make kebab of fish, we make kebab of prawns, we make kebab of everything. Kebab is the main part of the Persian menu, Persian cuisine.
Mehdi Malek is one of the top kebab makers. His skills prized by restaurateur Kami Shapari in his Sydney restaurant Kolbe.
This is called kubide. Kubide, in fact, means minced or smashed meat.
So these are called the shish?
Sikh.
The sikh.
Sikh.
And what's the history?
I believe that the soldier used to use it while they were at war, since they didn't have a facility to cook.
Oh, so they'd cook on their swords?
Whenever they find a meat somewhere, they stick it on the sword and put it on the fire.
Now that's very interesting how you've done that. So
We call it lourme, that means bite. Each one of them is one bite. You can eat it with one bite.
It's the same?
It is exactly the same.
Has to be.
Yeah.
That's one of the art of this. This is barge. The thin stripes of the meat, he's putting them on a skew.
So he's trying to thread this through something that's what?
That's
a few
probably
millimetres
a few
thick.
millimeters.
Look how quickly he does it.
That's why.
A perfect bug.
The perfect bag.
The bug is dipped into onion juice and saffron before cooking.
Cooking it, you have to have a notion of time. They are quite sensitive, these kebabs. If you overcook one side and undercook the other side, they separate from the skew and they fell off on the fire. So he has to cook them equally on each side.
I bet Malik doesn't have very many fall down.
Yeah.
No,
Never.
never.
Finished.
Finished. Looks beautiful. Clapping sound as the bread is slapped into shape for the tannoor oven is the sign of a good restaurant. Fresh, warm bread is a must, and the result is a golden crust and a slightly spongy texture. No Persian meal is complete without it. Persian bread is called taftan and is made from a mix of wholemeal and white flour. Rye is sometimes used as well. Most of the process made by hand, as it has been for hundreds of years. The bread just moist enough to stick on the hot clay sides of the oven. Most good restaurants have their own tannoor oven. Jason Agrami from Sydney's Vatan restaurant has 2 ovens and a specialist baker serving freshly baked bread with all meals. He once ran a fish cafe by the beach in Sydney, but decided the flavours of his childhood were much more exciting. One of his favourite dishes is gourmet sabzi, a slow-cooked dish with duck, dried lime and a mountain of herbs. Parsley, coriander, garlic chives and dried fenugreek leaves.
You couldn't find it fresh.
So you'd normally use these fresh in Iran?
Yes, fresh, yeah. And when you start fry it, even 2-3 homes away, you know, they know you're doing the sabzi. Yeah.
The dish starts with onions fried in a few tablespoons of ghee.
Just sweat the onion, let it to get a little bit color.
Then the meat is added. Jason likes to use the rich flavour of duck. And duck is popular in Iran, is it?
Yeah, duck is popular in north and west of Iran, very popular. Put some turmeric, just a pinch.
The sealed duck is removed from the heat and the fresh herbs are added.
The colour starts changing on the herb and basically shrinking.
Jason then adds a generous amount of dried fenugreek.
And you see the different smell straight away.
That's the smell that everybody knows you're making gourmet sabzi.
That's it. Okay, we put back our duck. We add a little bit chicken stock or just plain water. Just cover the meat.
Oh, look at that green colour.
We add the dried lime. Just crack it to get the flavour out. Yes, that's the way you just crack it. Put some salt and pepper. As you see, it's coming to the boil now. And you add some red kidney beans. We simmer it down for 2 hours.
Oh, look at that. That is
that
so worth waiting
for. That gourmet sabzi?
That is gourmet sabzi. It's beautiful. Across Iran, there's a dish said to be able to sustain workers through a long day, a dish that's also incredibly delicious. It's called dizi, and it's traditionally served in tea houses. Restaurateur Kami Shapari serves it every Sunday and says it's now popular in Australia with younger Iranians.
This is the name of this container. It used to be the laborer's meal. It's a very filling and very high-calorie meal. You have practically everything in it. 2 different kind of beans, meat, you have potato, and you have lots of fat. We don't use as much fat as we use it in Iran.
Yeah.
Here, we have to have a little piece of fat in it, animal fat in it, to give it a flavor. But we don't use as much.
And what do people do when it's served? We've seen people mashing it.
Well, the juice, they put it in a bowl. They break the bread in it, and they eat it separately. And whatever is left in it, they smash it in the dizi and they eat it with bread.
Sounds like so much fun. So this is the time when, you know, your mother said you shouldn't play with your food. This is the time when you can.
They play with the food.
Yeah.
That's all the fun about it. That's why it's popular amongst the youngsters now. You can call it Persian pate.
Persian pate.
You take your piece of bread. You can put it inside the bread and make a bundle like that. You can put either a piece of onion or a leaf of mint in it.
Warm Persian pate. Very nice. People are flocking for their Sunday breakfast. One of the big favourites in the Persian community is called kale poche, head and hoof soup, and it comes with all the trimmings.
Kale poche, kale is a head and poche is a feet.
So this is a very different Sunday brekkie.
Oh yes, it's different from the bacon and egg and, you know, the egg benedict at Tuscany near the beach. Yeah, obviously.
When you tried all that, come here.
Of course, yeah.
So for someone having this for the first time, seeing the head is a bit confronting, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. First of all, I don't serve it with a whole, with a bone. I just plate it up. You know, different part of the head, the meat and the eye and the cheeks and the ears. You know, when you plate it up, it look like a lamb shank. I make a garni that is carrot, celery, and pesto stock to get that little bit extra touch. Yeah. Then I have the onions.
So 4 onions to how many lamb heads have you got?
I have around 20 and around 150 feet.
150 feet?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Baby feet is quite nice and tender. Then I put garlic. I never say no to garlic. And then I put some cinnamon stick. That's traditional.
That's a great flavour with lamb too.
Of course. I put some bay leaves. Then I put the cardamom.
And you like the green in this?
Yes, yes. Put some turmeric. When it's cooked, it gives a yummy look with the lamb head and the meats, okay? And obviously go for the peppercorn.
Good hand on the pepper there, Jason.
And at the last, the good old salt. Very simple. It's good to get the turmeric to all the parts of the meat. When it's coming to the boil, simmer it down for another 18 hours.
18 hours?
18, 19 hours. And it's coming like a beautiful consommé, very clear.
Ooh, yeah. Lovely.
This is more something that older people eat. Children don't eat this, really. It's something that you more acquire as a taste as you get older. So I didn't like this when I was a child at all. It's only in the past couple of years. My brother-in-law introduced me to it, and he brings me every week. He picks me up. He's a soldier of calapocha. This is actually sort of the broth that the calapocha is cooked in.
This looks like the easy part for a beginner. That's good. I went the easy way and got the cheek.
That's probably the best place.
That's the best place to start,
and that's
is it?
the most like beef. The taste is the most like beef.
She said it was going to be like lamb shank, and it sort of is.
Yep.
A bit like lamb shank.
You have to be born as a Persian to eat that, otherwise no.
You have to be born as a Persian to eat this.
That's it.
You know what? I think you're right. Since ancient times, the Persians have used rice not as a side dish, but as the centre of celebrations. Cooking can take hours to make each of the grains just perfect and worthy of the title, the pearls of Persian cuisine.
We make the rice with our heart and soul. We put a lot of effort in it because we love to make it.
Nadia Sajadi knows all the rules. Her rice is legendary amongst her family and friends. Nadia starts by washing the rice thoroughly and adds rock salt, then leaves it for half an hour before pouring the rice and salty water into the pot with a few drops of oil.
You see how they're playing in the water?
They're having a lovely time playing in the water.
They're having a lovely time in there, aren't they?
When the rice is almost cooked, Nadia drains it ready for its second cooking. This starts by adding oil and sliced potato to the bottom of the pot to protect the precious rice and to create a golden crust at the bottom.
It's to die for, really.
Then she adds the rice, ready for steaming.
Once the steam gets in the pot, if we put the lid in there, it takes the steams and traps it in so the steam doesn't go back in the rice. We leave it here for 45 minutes and then we serve it.
Nadia then crushes saffron with a little sugar and adds water. The liquid ready to add to flavour the chicken, which is the side dish to the rice. This is cooked with a marinade of crushed garlic,
Put in there
salt and lemon juice,
about 1 tablespoon.
with turmeric, Persian mixed spice, chilli powder and black pepper added. It's mixed with water and some of the saffron liquid.
Stir it around.
Then spooned over the chicken and sliced onion and covered with foil to cook for an hour. To assemble the pulao, Nadia washes the barberries. Tell me what the flavour of a barberry is like.
A bit sweet and sour.
Ah, like a cranberry but smaller?
Yes.
Nadia melts a generous amount of butter and adds the barberries.
It needs only a few seconds, really, otherwise they get burnt and they get discoloured. That's 2 tablespoons of sugar. We just put it in, stir it. A couple of teaspoons of saffron. Okay, that's it, that's ready.
Then to serve, she layers the perfect rice with the sweetened barberries,
Bit of this.
slivered pistachios, and a sprinkling of liquid saffron. Now, tell me what you're doing.
This is butter and saffron. I melted it and put a little bit in there just to finish it off.
Wow, that's intense, isn't it? It is incredibly beautiful.
A little bit more of these. Now, the chicken around there to garnish.
So the chicken's the garnish and the rice is the centrepiece.
Centerpiece.
The added bonus of any pulao dish is the golden rice crust that's created at the bottom of the pot, called tadeg.
That's beautiful.
That's so crispy. Delicious.
Good,
And then
nice.
there's all this waiting for us too.
Please.
Absolutely stunning. In the Persian community, sweets punctuate the day, from biscuits made with nuts and dried fruit to syrupy pastries and lavish cream cakes, many with the flavours of saffron, pistachio and rosewater. With his wife Sophia, Babak Jonaidi has been making some of the favourites using chickpea flour, rice flour and a good amount of spices. Lots of beautiful little biscuits.
Yeah, this is Sultana's biscuit with saffron.
Oh,
Yeah, normally, breakfast, tea, coffee.
you've got to love a culture that has sweet biscuits for breakfast.
Yeah. And Danish with the custard cream with cinnamon.
Danish.
Danish,
In
yeah.
Persia.
In
No.
Persia.
As for desserts, there's one favourite that appears on dessert menus as well as being a cool summer snack. It's called faluda, a sweet iced dessert with rosewater and flavoured with lime, sour cherry or strawberry. Sometimes it's served with saffron ice cream.
It's something that is very good for hot weather. But what it has inside, especially the lemon and the crushed ice that is inside.
So it's like a sort of exotic snow cone with noodles in it.
Yeah.
Restaurateur Jalal Dastiari is a devotee. He was born in Azerbaijan and grew up in Tehran, where he was a police officer, later moving to Australia and opening Anahita restaurant 10 years ago.
When it comes
He starts by freezing a mix of water and sugar cooked to syrup, then slightly thawing and teasing out any hard lumps. Hard work, eh?
No, very good condition. Better.
I have new respect for this dessert now. Yeah, it's even cold holding the bowl. Must be freezing hands.
Freezing hand, yeah. You ready now?
It's a crazy dessert.
It is.
He adds cooked rice vermicelli noodles to the icy mix. So the noodles sort of freeze up and harden.
Yeah, frozen hard. And that's what we want. A bit rose water inside.
Lovely.
Yeah. Okay. There are three kinds to have it. One is with the lime juice. Another one is with the strawberry.
Oh, that's a wild colour. Okay.
And another one is popular in Iran as this one, sour cherry.
It looks good. So what's your favourite?
My favorite is that.
The lime?
Yeah, the lime. How is it?
Oh, it's lovely. And I haven't had the noodles yet. They're hard. I think this has to be one of the most unusual desserts I've ever eaten. On our next safari, the colourful world of English food, with old favourites like fish and chips, pork pies, pub grub, and a glorious summer pudding.
There's an old Persian joke, and they say, why don't they eat calapocha at night? And the answer is, because you won't wake up in the morning. You need the day to burn it off.
Oh, you need the day to burn it off.